Let us now talk about the process and steps involved in developing globally accepted products and services. How do you create international internationally sellable products? How do you create internationally sellable services which can be monetized, which can where you can create value and you can capture the value? So it all starts with the ideas and understanding of the product life cycle. So that is the starting point of creating any globally accepted products or services, that you have been able to generate good ideas of international products, and you understand the various stages of product life cycle of that product or service. What are the different stages of global products and services development? If you can understand these stages, you will understand the steps involved and what are the different stages in which you have to carry out certain activities to be able to finally able to create or select globally accepted products and services. So the first stage, as I already mentioned, it starts with understanding of the PLC and generating ideas. PLC is product life cycle. So the ideas generation, there is no set formula for generating ideas. It is very much based on your experience, your past profile, your overall business experience, which you may have or you may not have. So if you do not have a past experience, you do kind of research and try to find out that what products you can really sell in the international market, what are the products which are required. And it also depends on what is your the knowledge, what kind of knowledge you carry, what kind of capabilities which you carry. So there's so many things which are involved in generating ideas, and what kind of assets you have, and what kind of research you are doing, what kind of research you have already done. So these efforts brings in the new ideas, and you generate certain ideas, some initial ideas, which helps you go forward. And then those ideas, those product lines, those services, you try to understand their life cycle, their product life cycle. So you have to estimate that how much time frame is there in the introduction, how much time frame is there, when can you expect the growth of the sales of your products and services in the international market or the target market, and where does the maturity comes and where does the decline comes, which is the typical product life cycle of any product or services. And by doing this, you try to understand and match the market needs. So your ideas, your understanding of PLC actually all starts with your understanding about the customers and customer needs. So through market research, surveys, focus group, by running some pilot trials, you can assess and estimate and pinpoint what are the needs of the customer, and what kind of solutions can be created, which and how they can be deployed on digital platforms to sell. And in this, you also have to understand that what kind of competition you can face, either existing or the future competition. So that is also very important to understand. Then the fourth stage in this process is your ability to price your products. So what you do, you try to find out, research what is the perceived and real value of your product in a particular market, international market. And you also look at your business goals. How fast you want to capture the market. Suppose you want to capture the market very fast, probably you would start with lower prices, lower profits. And your goal is to capture a very large market. So you are looking at volume sales. So there also you will keep low margins. So accordingly, you have to price your product. And you have to also price your products according to the expectations of your marketing channel members, people who help you out in marketing, people who distribute your products in the international market, or if it is some services, that who are the middlemen in your pursuit for your international markets, and what are their expectations, how do you cover them. So those things has to be considered when pricing your products. And what are the local costs associated with the distribution of the products, or some kind of commissions for the marketing, or some kind of local support which you are getting. So what are the costs which are associated with that? That has to be factored into pricing your products. And of course, what kind of local taxes or government taxes may be there, which has to be factored into pricing your products. That's very important. And then comes your the fifth step, and that is to launch your product or services. How do you launch it? You have to understand the timings of the launching. If it is your seasonal product, you have to be very, very careful about when do you launch your product, and how do you advertise your launching, what kind of target audience, what segments do you cover in your launching. These are very, very important things, because at the time of launching, you can get a lot of eyeballs, you can get attention of the new customers, because you are at the very initial stages. You are trying to get the foothold into a totally virgin market for your products and for your brand. And then the sixth step is your ability to create teams to deliver the solutions which has been thought by you. That depending on what is your product strategy, what solutions you are offering, how you are offering, and what is the scope of those solutions, customer solutions, and what is the role of your team, your domestic team, on what is the role of the local teams. So you have to create that kind of architecture. So in order to basically consider the behavior of the customer, the consumer behavior of the customers, and to get the loyal and long-term customers, you need to build teams for pre and post sales customer experience. So that designing, how do you design that, is all part of the development of the globally accepted products. So the seventh and the last step in the stages of global products, globally accepted products and services development, is the control on the investments and the costs, which is very, very important, because that can be a very major factor in the success or failure of the product and services which you want to offer. And also it can impact the structure of your products and services, or the different features. So depending on what kind of investments you can deploy, what kind of cost control constraints you have, you may have to forego certain features in the products and services which you may like to offer to your customers. Maybe in the initial stages, you may have to forego certain features. So you have to oversee the deployment of the investments and justify the costs, especially at the launch stage. And you have to look at the receivables and credit period, if any, on your product. And you have to keep in mind the future requirements of the investments or the expenditures essential for the long-term successes. So these are the 7 steps which are very, very crucial, very, very important stages of the development of globally accepted products and services.